Sweet Cancers, this is your horoscope for May 2025. Now, first half of May, we will have a bit bumpy ride because we will have sort of a difficult full moon there to navigate. But stay with me, I will tell you how to navigate it. I will try to help you out. But by the end of May, we will have amazing boost of energy there, amazing new moon happening, and whatever you plan it to the end of May, my dear Cancers. Now, all the planets and Mars and Mercury and Venus will be out of their shadow period by the end of May, after like long retrogrades that happened for the first 4 months of the year. But end of May will be the time to go all ahead, to go full force after your wildest dreams. Now, let's begin from the beginning of May. 2nd of May, we have amazing thing going on. Venus, planet of love and beauty, conjuncting Neptune for the first time ever. Super aspect in your highest point of your chart. In general, my dear Cancers, you are getting a spotlight, in this 2025. A lot of you guys are getting spotlight, hitting the news, and discoveries, because 10th house is such a house where we are seen. This is our highest house. When our names are, visible, when we are visible to the whole world. And that conjunction is happening at first degree. Now, first degree is the beginning degree, it's the start, something beginning is there. Such an amazing, your career might skyrocket when Venus and Neptune conjuncts, and something related to beauty, my dear Cancers, you might be involved into, which is like, beauty and art. Maybe if you are like actors, singers, or dancers, or models, your star will shine, my dear Cancers. And even if you are not and you're switching, this will be your moment to switch your career to the more like artistic endeavors, let's say, and you will have your sweet spot and moment that everyone will notice how irresistible you are, because Venus will be there and Neptune will be blessing it. And this is the first ever time when these two planets are meeting there. Now, for the next 14, 15 years, each planet that are coming to your 10th house, they will be finding their Neptune. And this never happened in our lifetime. Neptune was there last time, it was back in 19th century. Now use this opportunity if you've always wanted, but you've forgotten your little self in the realm of, let's say, art, music, or creative part. This will be your chance. Like Neptune came into this part of your life to remind you how creative, how beautiful, how artistic you are, my dear Cancers. Now, Venus rules your house of friendships and also online social media world, and Neptune rules your ninth house of all things foreign. So this will be the time if you want to create that YouTube channel, Instagram page, do it around this time. Amazing, amazing conjunction. I don't want you to lose this opportunity, my dear Cancers. May 4th, another big thing, Pluto going retrograde, slowing down, moving backwards in your financial house. Now, Pluto is new home. It's financial house, your financial house, and it's a slow moving planet. For next 20 years, you have this Pluto in your 8th house. Now, if you haven't checked the horoscope for Pluto in your 8th house, go to my channel. I have a whole separate video on that. I'm sure you can find it. Now, Pluto moved only until 3rd degree of your 8th house, but now it will move backwards. So meaning it will move until 1st degree, and it will do so until October 14th. So Pluto will retrograde in your 8th house until October 14th, and this period will be sort of retrospective. You might get second chances here and second thoughts. about some things that you've been contemplating and maybe planning and even initiated back in October 2024 or back in November, because that's when Pluto moved into your eighth house for the, I don't know, next 20 years. So that's when you got some maybe insights of what you want to pursue, what you want to achieve in terms of your eighth house. I will tell you what this eighth house means. But now there will be second chances to give a second thought or maybe second act, some sort of message, some additional things will be coming up here. Eighth house is about money. It's about your husband's or wife's money, like family budget. It's about money that is coming to you from other people, other places. It's not the money that you earn, my dear Cancers. For some of you, it might be loan. If you're back then thinking about taking loan and buy apartment, this topic might hit again. Or if you've been already like in the process of applying and gathering some documents, there, when Pluto retrogrades, there might be some additional documents required, or you might hear back from those financial places like banks, and whether you got the loan or not, or maybe there are some additional documents needed. Now, eighth house is also house of tax, taxing. So your tax situation might be changing here. It's amazing period for you to reshape some things there. So maybe to pay less taxes somehow. Also, it's about scholarships, funding, alimony. If you're a student, then it might be about your scholarship. You might reapply to some scholarship or get additional one. And in general, inheritance, if that is your topic and situation, you might hear from inheritance situation, and even might be required to do some things additional. And in general, investments, if you've been if you invested back in, I don't know, November into some coins and shares, now when Pluto goes retrograde, those investments might a little bit go into sleep motion. They might not be so, let's say, profitable as you thought they would be. Eighth house is also house of conception, babies. Now, Pluto naturally rules your baby house, my dear Cancers, like children's house, fifth house, and it's in your conception. Now, a lot of you guys might give thoughts about like being a mother or father, and in general about conception journey and about the baby. It might be the time when you will be thinking and even planning. For some of you guys, you might be even visiting like specialists, let's say, in this area. And in general, it's about health and healing. Now here, Pluto retrograde gives you amazing time to view, let's say, under microscope, your health situation, your well-being situation, to revise some things, maybe to reshape some things here, my dear Cancers. Or maybe it's about your children's health. If it's not your health, then it might be about your kids' health. You will take close look at what's going on health-wise with your kids, my dear Cancers. Now, in general, eighth house is also esoterics. It's about mystical side of life, psychological, like esoteric, astrology. You might again find, let's say, joy and happiness and satisfaction to researching this part of your life. Maybe you will buy books or consult an astrologer or numerologer or tarot reader, let's say. May 12th, we have full moon, this difficult full moon hitting your fifth house of joy and true love, my dear Cancers. Those of you who are born 13th of July, plus or minus 5 days, you will be feeling this full moon the most because it's hitting 22nd degree of your fifth house. Now, full moons, they bring conclusion, or they put some situation to a spotlight. And this will be sort of a very shocking situation happening around May 12th. Uranus, planet of surprises and shock, sending opposition to that sweet full moon. Now, opposition is not a sweet aspect to handle, and Uranus will be situated in your 11th house. You know, your love life might not go as you planned, let's say, and especially those of you who've been dating newly. You know, your this partner sort of all of a sudden, either it will be your decision or either it will be his decision or hers, that to finish the relationship, for example, and it might come as a shocking situation to you. Now, Pluto, ruler of this full moon, will be situated in your 8th house of money, and it will have an argument with Mercury. Now, Mercury is a communication, so there will be some sort of news coming in. Plus, it's from a friend might come in, and even you might have a situation that your friends might not be supportive of your decision regarding your love life situation. For example, love situation, as an example, or it might be some sort of news related to money also. There could be some situation which is related to finances. Maybe you are not agreeing on something with your friends or with your love, let's say, with whom you just started dating with that person. And because of that, that relationship might finish abruptly. You know, in general, I call this full moon something that is coming as a shock, finishing as a shock, but then benefiting you in the long run. Believe me, it might not be feeling and seeming that way when the situation hits your life. I know it's hard to perceive it that way, but that situation, you will benefit from that in the long run. You will, you know, after some time, you will look back and you will be sure that everything happened as it should have happened, and it's good that it happened that way. You will say that to yourself, believe me, because Saturn and North Node, they will try to help you out, and they will try to mitigate this Uranus's effect, shocking effect, because North Node and Saturn, they will send trine to that sweet full moon. Now, trine is amazing aspect, and they will be both situated in your 9th house of foreign things. Saturn rules your marriage house, my dear Cancers. Whatever will be happening there, seems like, you know, you will have faith. You will have faith. Universe will give you, sort of your angels will be telling you that believe in your future, believe into the next part of your life. It will all work out. So, you know, if that is related to, for example, your love life, it means just that it's needed, you know. So it means that better person is next door, better relationship where you will build a solid family and foundation and possibly get married, because Saturn is there, you know. It's your marriage ruler, and next door, you know, next chapter. So let go of this person that is not serving you good anymore. Now, for some of you, if you say it's not love, then it will be about friendships and money involving, or all of it together. Like there is an issue in money, you know, sort of in finances and in general, like looking into different directions in life. Sort of this kind of argument, and subject of the argument might be. And 5th house is also house of kids. Now, for some of you, it might be news that will come as a shocking news about pregnancy, about that, let's say you're pregnant, or if that's what you didn't want, then of course this will shock you. But universe is telling you that angel is coming to you. So keep that baby. Anyhow, universe is trying to tell you and support you in the face of Saturn. That's a responsibility, you know. It will be sweet responsibility if you will be willing to take up that responsibility as becoming parent, let's say, or literally giving birth might happen around this full moon, around May 12th. Some of cancers might give birth around this time. Fifth house is also about business. Now, not a good time to start a business around this full moon, but you might have a sweet spot there. Some of you might get lucky. Anyhow, Saturn is supporting you. In the long run, that business will work out, but in the beginning, it will be hard because not like your surrounding seems like won't be supportive of your idea for that business. They won't be supportive of what you're starting, so maybe better not to share all these things what you want to start. And Uranus is right now in your house of social media and internet and popularity, so this full moon will have a bit of a hard start if that business involves social media, my dear cancers. Try to postpone it until end of May with the new moon. That will be amazing. But this one, we have a bit of a hard aspects there going on. Now, fifth house is also house of love triangles, and full moon is like it's like a bulb of light. So some of you guys might find out that you are in a love triangle, let's say. That is a possibility too, in general, my dear cancers. Now, May 25, we have Saturn moving into your 10th house. Now, Saturn is a slow-moving planet. It takes 29 years, roughly, to come back to the point where it was before, to make a full circle through the zodiac. So this is a huge. Now, Saturn, last time it was in your 10th house was 29 years ago. So if you're at that age, you might recall back what was going on 29 years ago, how was life back then. But if you are young, then this transit happened when you were a kid, let's say, when you were a child. Now, Saturn, any slow moving planets, when they are moving, like changing sign to sign, they are the strongest. They bring already news. But Saturn here, it will stay there until September 1st. So from end of May until September 1st, notice things. What is going on in your life? Raise your awareness, try to notice how life is changing in that part of your life. Now, 10th house is about your career and social status, and Saturn coming in there, bringing big responsibility, my dear Cancer. Saturn is about responsibilities, is about restrictions, is about hard work. And Saturn coming into your 10th house to check up on you, either to reward you, either to destroy things that are built on a shaky foundations. Saturn is all about solid foundations, so it will check up all those things. Now, until September, you will get already big, huge shifts. As I said, planets, when they change, this kind of planets, when they change signs, they are the strongest. So you will feel this for sure. Plus, it's an angular house. It's a very sensitive house. So it's sort of like a preview of what's to come in the next 3 years, because Saturn stays in one part of your chart in 3 years. 3 years reshaping, remolding. This is the perfect word for Saturn. It remolds things, if it doesn't like how it's built, those things will get destroyed. But you will be stronger, with Saturn in your 10th house. You will get stronger. You will finally learn how to tap into your stronger side, career-wise, my dear Cancers. Now, it will be back into your 10th house next year on Valentine's Day, 2026. So from September until Valentine's Day next year, it will be retrograding backwards. Anyhow, this is a 3-year transit. Now, you have now a chance from end of May until September 1st to taste what it's like to have Saturn in your 10th house, my dear Cancers. Now, for 3 years, Saturn rules your house of marriage. So a lot of Cancers in the next 3 years, they will get, this responsibility. You might take up this responsibility of getting married, to being married, being a husband, being a wife, having a responsibility, let's say social responsibility. You see, it's bringing huge thing into your social status, because 10 house is about social status. A lot of Cancer social status is changing. And if you are married, but that, marriage had already some sort of shaky things, and it's not stable, you know, Saturn usually breaks it down. It takes it apart, tears it apart, and no need to be sad of that, because we as a people, we usually reluctant of letting go things, and even if they're not working anymore and not serving any good and not moving us, making us move forward, into our life, and we are just keep clinging to those things. Now, this kind of moments, we need the universe to act, and universe feels to act for you, so it sends Saturn. Now, some of you guys might get divorced with Saturn in your 10th house, and even already start divorcing as soon as Saturn moves into your 10th house, and you might feel this tension while Saturn is coming closer and closer to your this social status area. But some of you guys, especially those of you who are, if your marriage is strong and healthy, you won't feel this Saturn at all. If Saturn will reward you even, it will check up on you if you've done your homework after 29 years, and it will give you even more blessings. It will make it stronger. Saturn loves strong relationships built on an amazing foundation, and you as a Cancer, you also love these things. So try to work with Saturn, if you will be asking him to bring this kind of relationship into your life, for sure you will get it. Saturn loves to reward people for their hard work and stamina, and in general, your intention there. So it could be both ways, either divorce, either marriage. It depends on your situation, and you will get already preview before September hits. Now, Saturn in 10th house is also about career. Now, again, if a lot of you guys might already start feeling if that career path is yours, truly yours. A lot of Cancers might change completely to a different thing. Like if you've been in a corporate life, you might completely switch to, I don't know, artistic, being spiritual, or maybe doctor, being a surgeon, something completely different. Saturn will come here and again will remind you who you truly are, and if you are on the right path career wise, your life calling wise, my dear Cancers. 10th house also, if you are, let's say, on the right path and you've been working hard, a lot of Cancers, you guys might get rewarded with Saturn in 10th house, rewarded in terms of high profile positions, let's say, or getting promoted, getting recognized, titles, nominations might hit your table. This Saturn, adds up responsibility. It gives huge responsibilities on, when it's in the 10th house. So you might, for example, get promotion, and of course with it, you will have money, but then you will have a lot of responsibilities and hours and hours of work, hard work. Saturn is about this meticulous, hard work. So for the next 3 years, some of you guys might get so busy and caught up in work that, but then anyhow, like as a plus side, you will be having the fruitful things, let's say promotions and recognition. You will climb that, career ladder, my dear Cancers. But for some of you guys, plus with the hard work, hours of work. So try to, in the next 3 years, pay attention also to your family, and in general, it might be Saturn makes this kind of feeling when you are all the time working, and actually it might give you this sort of life when there is nothing that except for work. But for some of you, it might completely destroy your career and even diminish your reputation. If you've been doing bad things, let's say if you've been corrupted, or Saturn will come here and it will give you strict, harsh lessons there. So it's up to your natal chart. It's up to what you've been doing for the past 29 years, my dear Cancers. May 27th, we have new moon, sweet new moon, amazing one, but it's happening in your private house, very private, very behind the doors, 12th house. Now, this new moon will be sugar sweet. Those of you who are born around 27th of June, plus or minus 5 days, you will be feeling the most this new moon because it's hitting your 6th degree. Now, new moon happening in the behind the doors house, conjunct Mercury, ruler of the new moon. Now, I call this new moon sort of a bit of a destiny there, and because all the karmic planets taking place and they are contributing, they are supportive of this new moon. Pluto, most important, transformation planet, which is in your money house, is sending trine to that new moon. Amazing aspect. Now, this new moon has crazy big potential for you to get pregnant because it's happening in your 12th house, and 12th house is about this, conception too. Our conception, like how baby is conceived, is completely, let's say, a secret, even though we know like a scientific way, but then still it's a huge mystery and secret, even up until nowadays, for whole humanity and science in general, how the babies are coming to life, let's say, and made in the womb. Now, it's all this thing is exactly 12th house, and Pluto is in your conception house, and Pluto plus rules your baby house. So you see, all these three houses that are related to conception, they are tied in with this new moon, and seems like new seed, new life there. So if that is your wish, act around this end of May. You will for sure have success. Universe wants you to have babies, my dear Cancers, and you make up a perfect parents as a sign of motherhood, my dear Cancers. Now, Saturn and Neptune, another like those two karmic planets that are newly situated in your house of social status, highest chart of your part, they are supporting the ruler of this new moon, Mercury. They are also sending perfect aspect to that ruler, and they are in your 10th house, so it's like social status, sort of new social status is adding up here. Might be like, for example, parenthood, or I don't know, maybe you are becoming grandparents also, because Neptune rules your 9th house and Saturn rules your house of husbands and wife, let's say. In general, if you say that it's not about pregnancy, it can be about sort of opportunity there for your husband or your wife or your long-term partner in love or in business. Sort of money coming from somewhere far, because Pluto is situated in your let's say husband's or wife's money house, and new moon is happening there somewhere far. So it might be that they get opportunity to double their salary, to find a new job opportunity, and plus relocate. Seems like you will be joyous and your better half also will be very joyous of the situation that will be going on around this new moon, May 27, my dear Cancer. Seems like it might be them whose reputation is rising, and you are relocating. You are moving to some other country, for example. Or it might be your situation too, because it's involving your house of career. You might change a career, or you might get promoted, or finding a new job offer, for example. Seems like everything is working out here. It's amazing one. Now, if that was related to health situation, a well-being situation, seems like this new moon will bring amazing positive news around that topic. If that is your situation, something's going on with your, like if you're going for some checkups, and especially related to women's health, men's health, sort of, you know there will be amazing news coming in with this new moon. It's a new energy. And also could be some news around your father. If that is not you or not your husband, then it might be related to your father's life, or your boss, let's say, life, my dear Cancers. Now, if you have a surgery there, no worries on that. That surgery will go amazingly positive and well, and you will heal faster, and you will be feeling much better. Anyhow, now always check your rising sign and moon sign too, especially for you guys, my dear Cancer. Check your moon sign first, because you are ruled by moon sign. You are governed by moon, and that moon, which sign is that located in your natal chart, check that one, because that is mostly very influential on Cancers, and a lot of situations, you might resonate with your moon sign. Anyhow, check all three. Love you all. Bye bye.